Well, I would normally open this by bitching that my schedule has been thrown off by an unexpected trailer, except that May the 4th be with you. I really should have expected this trailer. So I suppose that's on me. Obi-Wan, full trailer. Let's take a look, shall we?
They're coming.
They're coming.
Stay hidden, or we will not survive.
Okay, these are, I guess, Inquisitors. I guess they were established in other media. And there's Luke, looking like Anakin. Like young Anakin.
When the time comes, he must be trained.
Like you trained his father?
Lars is due for some
Still
spotlight.
Kenobi. He's gone.
Maybe you've been looking in the wrong places.
6-part event,
I want
okay.
every lowlife and bounty hunter to squeeze him.
I like that he's working without the lightsaber in that fight scene. Ooh, using the blaster, too. Of course. I'm still super skeptical about putting Vader in this. I knew, like, I've known since they put out the concept art and he was in that, and people tried to tell me, well, maybe he won't be in it. It's just concept art. Maybe like, of course, but like, why would they leak that? Why would they release that concept art if he wasn't going to be in it? Because that would just disappoint the people who want him to be in it. But I am real skeptical about putting Vader in this story because, all right, it's not as if the meeting of old Obi-Wan and Vader in A New Hope is like the definitive. They definitely haven't seen each other since the end of Revenge of the Sith, although it heavily hints that, especially with Vader's line, like, when I left you, I was but the learner, now I am the master. Like, it implies a fair amount of time passing and their last time being together being in a instructor-student style relationship. So, having him encounter him again, I'm not saying there's no way to do it right. There probably is, and I'm going to hope they find it. I just think there's a lot of ways to do it wrong in a way that undermines, how much time was supposed to have passed, or the idea that, they thought Obi-Wan was dead. If these two see each other again and don't properly, resolve things, why would Vader ever call off the hunt? Basically, is what I'm left asking. And, like, maybe there are answers to these things. They probably can be. Like, as cynical and skeptical as I tend to be, pretty much any idea can be turned into a workable series, good movie, etc. But, there are a lot of ideas that have a lot of inherent, let's just say, potholes that the whole thing could be driven into. Some of which might send it into an off-road ditch. I don't need to dig into that metaphor anymore. But, I mean, it has a good oppressive tone, especially with the Empire stuff, which it should. Because if we're gonna, like with stuff like The Mandalorian, the Empire has fallen. I mean, like, there's remnants of it. And so all the stuff tied into that end of the timeline, is dealing with an empire severely weakened, falling apart, largely dissolved. This is going to be more the empire at its height or building towards its height. And getting the oppressiveness of that is going to be key. And I got a good vibe off that. Saw more locations than I was expecting to. especially Obi-Wan in more locations than I was expecting. I kind of expected it to be more restricted to Tatooine. Although, again, if they're going to have him encounter Vader, that has to really not happen on Tatooine, because that would bring Vader's attention to Tatooine, wonder why Obi-Wan was there, and maybe start looking around for why, and then realize Luke too damn early. So, you know, I suppose, especially if you're bringing Vader in, you can't just have everything restricted to Tatooine logistically. I don't know a lot about again, I think I remember being told in the comments last time they're Inquisitors or something like that. I don't know a lot about them. I don't know if they are actually considered Sith, or if they're like a subclass of Sith, or if they're just Imperial warriors with some degree of Force training. I don't know what their deal is. They look intimidating enough. You know, if you're going to have like this squad of Jedi hunters, okay, yeah, that tracks. Like I said, I do like the call that was made in terms of this trailer to not show Obi-Wan fire up a lightsaber or even confirm that he has one. We see him fighting hand to hand. We see him picking up a blaster. He seems to have genuinely wanted to leave everything behind, because I seriously doubt that those are blasters he keeps. He's something that he's picking up that, you know, are just there in the heat of a moment where he's dealing with a situation he would rather not be in. Part of me wonders if this is going to be a version of the I've just walked away from all of it that was attempted with Luke in The Last Jedi, that maybe will work better for me, at least. I don't want to open up a can of worms on The Last Jedi, but Last Jedi didn't really work for me. And I don't think Luke was the most egregious part of The Last Jedi, but I also don't love it. So I wonder, part of me wonders if this is like another crack at trying to do that kind of story, because there's merit in that general story. And certainly the way that Obi-Wan is portrayed in A New Hope as just basically having run away from everything, except just keeping an eye on Luke. Yeah, that would track. You know, using that as a version of that kind of story, that could work. I'm not sure I have too many other thoughts. It looked good enough. I like Ewan McGregor in the part. There's elements that they are using that I am skeptical of. Doesn't mean that they can't be made to work. Just means that the way my brain functions, I see a lot of ways for it to go wrong, and I can't help that. Like, that's who I am. Sorry. But what did you think of this trailer? Whatever your thoughts are, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. Like, share, subscribe, Patreon. That's what pays the bills, keeps this whole operation up and running. But if you want to check out other stuff I do, links down in the description for things like Twitch and TikTok and books that I've written that you can buy, and merch and so forth. But, you know, don't worry too much about it. We take a relaxed attitude around here, so you can just come on back next time you need a break. And credits. I gotta shout out my top Patreon supporters, so thank you very much to Zubin Lutfullah, Barack, Oliver B, Melinda Walters, Leotha Boyd, TT, Bernobulax the Poodle, Eidolon, Tracy Scrabbit, Vincent Paul Bartolucci, Angry Caspero, Adam Lefty Taylor, Shane Ross, Robin Moore, Shayla Gourlay, and Brendan LaRose. Couldn't do it without you.